Hello! My name is Jamie Markey.
Hello, my name is Michael Tatum.
And what are we?
Why do I have to say it?
Say it, Michael.
Why?
Say it.
We're Ghostacles.
We're what?
We're Ghostacles.
I couldn't hear you.
We're Ghostacles.
We're what?
We're Ghostacles!
Yes, we are Ghostacles! It's our Ghostacles episode.
It's fun. I'm slowly warming to the name. Slowly. Don't get any ideas. I'm not thrilled about it yet. I'm just tolerating it.
I have all the ideas.
It's true. All these ideas. It's very true.
That's not actually true, but...
It's pretty much true. It's like 99.9% true. No. I have 0.1 ideas.
0.1. That's an important 0.1.
It's, well...
Hey, so we're going to tell ghost stories today, right? Isn't that what we're here for?
This is a moment of like, brain fart, what are we doing? Oh yeah, we're telling ghost stories.
Who am I? What's my name?
Am I starting today?
Yeah, you can start.
Okay. This one comes from Autumn. It's a good name. Mm-hmm. As a child, I lived in the middle of nowhere. Our home was a new construct in an open field. Well, in high school, a friend and I were in my kitchen with my friends sitting on our small deep freezer. We were just talking about supernatural stuff. I was telling her how sometimes when I was by myself, which at the time was a lot with my parents' odd work schedules, I felt like something else was in the house besides me, the two cats and my dog. Commas are everything. I'm going to read that again. Yeah. I felt like something... We were just talking about supernatural stuff. I was telling her how sometimes when I was by myself, which was a lot because my parents had odd work schedules, I felt like something else was in the house aside from just me, the two cats, and my dog.
Okay.
That's what... That's what's there.
She felt like she was not alone.
Yes.
Okay.
And I guess the two cats and the dog didn't feel like they were alone either.
Right.
They had each other. Worse was when my dog, Apricot... Oh,
that's a cute name.
Do you say apricot or apricot?
I say apricot, but my mom says apricot.
It's the same thing with my mom. I say apricot, my mom says apricot. It's like a generational thing?
Maybe.
Weird. Apricot was inside, and she would just growl at nothing. All 14 pounds of fluff growling like a bulldog. I totally love that image.
Yeah.
Ever seen a Bichon's fur stand on end? It's an odd sight, let me tell you. I love that. They look like little Websters. You know, those little brooms with a little puffy.
It's a Bichon freak, eh?
As I was saying the last part to my friend, she suddenly went quiet. She had been joking and saying how it... she was saying how it was because the house was in between two cemeteries that were a couple of country blocks apart. I turned to look over at her, about to ask what was wrong. What I saw froze me to my core. Her head was tilted to one side at an odd angle, and her eyes glazed over. Before I could say anything, she launched herself off the freezer, trying to grab me.
Ugh.
Oh. Thankfully, I screamed her name, and she seemed to snap back to herself. She jerked backward and started to apologize, saying she had just seemed to black out. After that, we decided to never talk about the subject while in my house again, just to be safe. Maybe don't have her in your house again either, because that may not be a ghost. That just might be a friend trying to kill you.
Right, a friend.
And I use the word friend loosely.
Some issue.
That's maybe, but that's kind of freaky.
It is.
That's kind of freaky. Ooh.
Ugh, can you imagine?
I can. I've had a lot of friends try to kill me.
Well,
all in good fun.
Makes one know that.
No one's tried to kill me. No, not a friend.
Right.
I mean...
Well, not that we know of.
Yeah, not we know
right.
of.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm like, I didn't realize that.
I have... these are long ones. Okay.
Yeah, long ones.
From Catlin, I believe.
Catlin?
It could be Caitlin, but I think it's Catlin. Okay. I was home alone as I was house sitting and pet sitting while my parents were away visiting my brother. I was home for the summer from college and saw no harm in watching the place and animals. I believed I would be perfectly fine as we had 4 dogs, a fenced-in yard, and a metal security door on the front door. On the second night, I was laying on the couch watching a psychological horror flicker. I was laying out on the couch watching a psychological horror flick. Not my brightest moment, I know. As the sun was just starting to set, I needed to use the restroom. As I got up, our new dog, Teddy, who was not fixed yet, was very aggressive to my other dogs, had done something or another to get in trouble. So I let our largest dog, Troy, who was the usual target for Teddy, follow me and come in with me. As I was finishing up, my hand grazing the door handle, I heard the unmistakable sound of the door leading to the garage opening and slamming shut, followed by another bang. Heavy footsteps filled my ears, and I froze. It sounded as if someone in heavy boots was walking on the tile of my house. I switched the lights off and flicked off the lock. My body shook as I backed myself into a corner and took out my phone. I spent 30 minutes in the bathroom, huddled on the ground and crying as I listened to the sounds and spoke quietly to the 911 operator. I get that. Yeah, I would do something very similar, I think.
God.
At one point, they walked past the bathroom door, clunking by towards my parents' room. Troy whined. I did my best to quietly shush him. Troy! Outside, Teddy growled and snarled, but went quiet a minute later. All I could think was, they found the gun. They must have.
Oh my God.
They found the gun, and they're going to kill me.
I don't like the story.
It's very scary. Finally, the cops came. I crept out of the room. No one was there. The trash was tipped over, and Teddy had come running to me. The cops searched the house and found nothing. They decided it was just a misunderstanding and left. As I cleaned up after a heavily cry-filled phone call to my parents, I forced myself to believe the officers. My little door knocked down a full, heavy trash can by himself. My little dog, maybe. Knocked down a full, heavy trash can by himself, and I just heard him rooting through the spilled garbage. Nevertheless, I turned on every single light, locked every door, and made it so every dog was near me when I slept. The thing is, there were 2 bangs. Heavy footsteps that were similar to feet clad in boots, and no trash led to the back bedroom where I heard the footsteps. I don't know what really happened that night. All I know is I will never stay there at night by myself ever again. And I think that's a good call, Catlin.
Yeah. Ooh.
What?
Oh, it's terrifying.
Yeah, no, that's not what dogs sound like when they're rustling through the trash.
No.
They don't sound like footsteps.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like footsteps at all. Like, footsteps sound like fucking footsteps. And there's not a lot of things that I've heard in my life that I've ever mistaken for footsteps that weren't actually footsteps. You know what I mean? Like, it's really rare to hear something like, oh, that's footsteps. Oh, my bad. It was just the dishwasher.
Right.
Like, never, ever has that happened in my life.
That doesn't happen.
Like, footsteps are a pretty distinct sound.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Creepy.
God.
So creepy.
All right. Well, I have a story from Deanna, I think is how I pronounce Deanna. Deanna. That's clearly how it's pronounced. Sorry if it's not. I used to work in a building that had been repurposed. It had previously been an institution where people with special needs lived for many years before it closed. I won't mention the name of the place that took over the property to protect their privacy. I had my own office in the building on the ground floor in the middle of a long hallway. The institution was open until 10 p.m. on weeknights, but I usually got out of there before 5. However, one evening, I stayed late to catch up on some paperwork. I remember it was winter because though it was only around 6 p.m., it was very dark outside. There were many other people in the building, however, it was far less busy in the evening than the bustle of the daytime hours. I was the only one still in the office in my hallway at this point. My colleagues had already left for the day. The rooms being used that evening were either down another hallway, which you had to take 2 turns to reach, or they were on the second floor. So, though I would occasionally hear people out in the hallways, I was for the most part alone. My L-shaped desk faced a wall with a door to my left. It was a small office, so to get to the door I had to walk around my desk. I had the door open to my office and could sometimes hear someone walking down the long hallway or voices from one of the other hallways around the corner. At one point, I suddenly heard running footsteps at the far end of the hall to the left as you exited my office. As an employee of the institution, I thought I should tell them to slow down in the building or check if there was an emergency and if they needed assistance.
No running by the pool.
Right? People trying to work here. I stood from my desk and walked around it so I could get to the open door. I could hear the footsteps getting closer to my office as I approached the doorway. It sounded as if the person would be just at my door when I reached it, and I didn't want them to run into me, so I leaned out just a bit, looking to my left. From the sounds, the person should have been right in front of me, but there was no one there, and the footsteps stopped as soon as I poked my head out of the office. Again with the footsteps. No, it's clearly footsteps. Like, what else is that going to be? Yeah. Oh, it's a pipe. Bullshit. Stunned, I was frozen for a moment and then tried to figure out where the person had gone. There were many other doors in this part of the hallway, but my coworkers had already left. Their office doors were closed and locked, and I had not heard any doors open or close. There was a small hallway that branched off the long one in the direction I heard the running feet, but it was far down the hallway, and I would only have heard the footsteps for a very brief moment if the person had run in there. There were 2 bathrooms in the hallway, but they were to the right of my office, so I would have heard and seen anyone pass the office before ducking into the bathrooms. I stood there, still leaning out of my door, for a few moments, just listening. The building was eerily quiet. Feeling spooked, I decided it was time to go home. Good call.
All right. Well, yeah, that's it. Goodbye.
Bye, everyone. I'll just catch up on work tomorrow. I wasn't sure if it was something paranormal or if someone had really been running and then hid. Both options made me nervous, though I did not feel any negativity or really anything at all. I only knew that I heard someone running and then they were gone. I closed my office and headed home. I never had another experience like that in the 8 years I worked there, and I still don't think of it as strong evidence that ghosts exist, but I have to admit that it was creepy, and there is no explanation for what happened that night.
Ooh. Something creepy.
That's a big nope.
Yeah.
Again with the footsteps and the running. I hate when they run. When they're running towards you, that's weird.
Especially like because it's like she's stuck at her head, waiting to be like, hello, and then there's nobody there. Whew.
That's so disorienting when you do that. You're like, what the fuck? What? Did I just
like
have
your stomach drops? Like,
yeah.
What? Why? Or there a lot of the times it's these moments where it's like, well, that's weird, and then the more you think about it, you're like, that's very, very weird.
And the more you think, you're like, I need to get the fuck out of here.
It's time for me to leave.
That's weird enough to warrant leaving.
Yeah. Hey, those footsteps sound like the timer on my ability to stay here. Ding, ding. Footsteps.
I think those footsteps had the right idea. I'm going to run the fuck away.
That's right. I'm going to get my things, maybe, and GTFO.
I'll come back in the daylight when there's more people here.
Yeah, right.
Oof.
Ooh. Okay, so our last one is from Denise. When I started college, I heard so many rumors about the school having a haunted past. Oh, we went to OU at the same time. There was a lot of haunted stuff.
Oh, yeah.
At OU, yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh, my God, the library?
Were there stories about the library?
Oh, my God, I have a story about the library.
I don't remember the library very well. I don't think I spent much time there.
Oh, my God. Okay, so, especially because I was in theater, and I don't know if it's the same now, but it's the University of Oklahoma. I went there for theater, and to go get the plays and stuff, you had to go into the decks, which is it was like a half floor. So you'd go onto a main floor, and then you go kind of to the back, and then you go down or up, and you'd go a half floor down. It was this whole other space, and they had I think it was green floors, and you could see through it. So it was kind of disorienting. Anyway,
I don't think I ever saw that.
Yeah, I think so.
I was in a different building though than the main campus.
Well, this was the main library. This wasn't just like the theater library. It was the main library, and they called them the decks. And then I was there, and I heard some something fall, and I listened because it was real close, and you could if somebody else was there, it was, you knew, because it was very close. Only one person could really go in and out of certain areas, and so I was on this aisle, and I heard something drop from a couple aisles, and then another thing drop, and I went to go see if somebody was there because my spidey senses were up. And I went, and there was a book on the floor in one of the aisles, and I picked it up and put it up. And then I went a couple of aisles over from where I thought I heard the first thing, because it was far away drop and then closer, and there was another book on the floor. So I put that one up, and then I heard bump, 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 bump. And when I went back to the aisle I had been on, there were 10 books on the ground.
Oh!
And I just left them there.
I'm like, well, it just seems like a fruitless effort to put them up, because it seems like everyone you pick up, 3 fall.
Right. So it's if I do that, then a whole entire shelf is going to collapse, and I don't need that kind of
You don't need that, because if there's no one else there to take the heat.
Right. It's going to go on me. So anyway.
Oh, what a great... Libraries can be very creepy.
Yes, absolutely.
Especially in the stacks in the back areas where
having grown up watching Ghostbusters, that was the scariest part, was the library.
That was the scariest part. Oh,
so
God.
Scary. Okay, so, all right, let me start over. Denise, sorry about that. When Denise started college, this is not about me. When I started college, I heard so many rumors about the school having a haunted past. The university I was attending used to be a mental hospital back in the old days. proof that the old existing hospital still lingered in some of the buildings that never got renovated. Students would do mini ghost investigations at night by sneaking into the old abandoned buildings, trying not to get caught by campus security. People around the university often tell reports of patients in white gowns crying and gurney noises from different buildings on campus. Although I knew the stories around campus, I didn't pay too close attention to them. One night, after a late study session at the library, I found myself cutting through the bell tower building to use the restroom. Were you at the University of Oklahoma? No. It wasn't converted from anything else. Sorry. But the bell tower's right there too. Most of the building had been locked up, so I had to travel deeper into the bell tower to find a bathroom. Once business was taken care of, I started the journey to my dorm room. The building was cold and quiet. I could only hear the sound of my footsteps as I walked up the hallway. It took me a while to notice an echo. Every time I would step, I would hear another set of footsteps. I shook off the creepy feeling, reminding myself that it could be another student. I continued walking, but the extra pair of steps remained ever present. I grew annoyed at the thought of some random student playing a prank on me, so I stopped walking. Looking around, I couldn't see anything, and I didn't hear anything either. I was frustrated. Usually I'm shy, but maybe it's because I was tired and having a long, stressful day that I dared to raise my voice. Hey, whoever is there, I don't have time for this. Love it. The rage of a tired college student. I stood there waiting for a response, but never got one. I was about to start walking again when I heard the footsteps. The steps were coming from the direction in front of me, growing louder and louder, but there was something different about the sound I was hearing. Earlier, they were regular, heavy footsteps. These were the sounds of bare feet walking. I waited to see who would... I waited to see who would be turning the corner of the hallway to meet me, but it was no one. A chill ran through me as I realized what just happened. I raced out of the building, headed towards the dorm. I had an uneasy feeling, it's hard to say, of someone watching me as I left the bell tower. I tried to make myself feel better by saying it could have been another student, even though I knew the truth. I never went back to the bell tower building at night again. I learned not to doubt the history of my school. My parents learned their lesson, too. I was told one night when they came to visit me, they got a surprise on the main road leading to the university. What? They won't speak too much about it anymore, but at the time I was able to get them to open up. On the road, there was a woman dressed in a white gown. She looked pale and lost.
We did not need that.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys heard it, but there was this really loud bang from outside.
It sounded like
God.
a truck or something.
Okay.
Moving, or like someone throwing something into one of the trash bins.
Like a dumpster. It was
something.
Like a
dumpster bang. That was.
Oh my God.
What a! I hope it picked it up.
Really we'll see.
It picked up.
Okay, so there was a woman dressed in a white gown. She looked pale and lost.
Sorry, I can't.
My heart is racing. This is a good story.
At no point would I have thought those were footsteps.
Right? No, not at all.
This is like a dumpster being something thrown into a dumpster.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like a footstep.
No.
Even remotely like a footstep.
Denise, this is a good story because we can't even finish it before freaking out.
I know this. This is how into it we are.
Before my parents could check to see if she was hurt or needed help, this is the white gown. She looked pale and lost on the road. Before my parents could check to see if she was hurt or needed help, she disappeared in front of them. I guess the patients want to be heard by anyone, regardless if they are attending the university or not.
Oh. Oh.
What?
And if it was a mental institution back in those days, who knows how many people were there who really had mental illnesses or they were just inconvenient.
Right.
And so, they're still trying to reach out going, I'm not crazy, guys. Right. I'm just a gay man. Or, I'm not crazy. I'm just a woman with ideas that doesn't want to be treated like shit.
Right. Put her away. Put him away.
Put her away. Put her away. Lock her up.
And again, we stand by that those hospitals had to be the party hospitals. Because if you have a bunch of gay men and independent women, you can't not have a party.
That's true. I'm going to picture it like that now, although I know that's probably not true at all. They were probably
no, it was probably horrible.
They were probably hell on earth.
Oh, God, it was definitely horrible.
Because I'm like, if you don't have mental issues, you will have them before you're out of a place like that.
You know what I want to believe? This is what I want to believe, that at least one of those institutions became like the best place to go.
Like became like you really want to get into like Ridgedale or whatever.
Right, like you go and there were people who needed help, but like all of, you know, the
like the doctors, the staff were like in on it, so they were like,
yeah.
we're just gonna let you like, well, we'll just we'll give you some drugs,
right,
here's
right.
some
and it was just like it was just like go chill out and hang with your friends. And there might be some people who do need some help, but they're actually getting the care they need because there's a bunch of caring people around them that are like, how can we help you, sweetie?
Yeah, they're having a good time.
What do we need?
Oh
and then
and like every time family or like, you know, the state has to come to visit to like do an inspection, everyone, we're having a day where everyone has to act like really zombed out.
Yeah.
Like everyone
I feel like this happened before there were a lot of regular inspections. Like, you know, way back.
Yeah.
There has to be at least one. My heart needs to believe that.
I hope so.
Most of them were terribly awful, horrible nightmare places.
Pretty much all of them.
Yeah, except for one.
Except there's one. There's one somewhere.
I believe that
there was one somewhere. Maybe it was in like, I don't know, it was on Fire Island or something. I don't know. I don't know.
But it was like
we can make one up.
The best college
Well, let's
ever.
write a movie about it. Okay. The best college ever. It became a party college.
Right, exactly. It's a party college. It's a party institution.
The inmates all just became teachers.
That's right.
They're like, oh, good, we got a staff right built in. It's great.
Yeah. Maybe that's what happened.
That's a movie that needs to be written.
I know. Amazing. Someone write that. And
we'll call it The Inmates Running the Asylum.
I like it. Let's do it.
Well, that's it.
Yeah, all right.
For today's episode of
It is.
Ghostacles.
Ghostacles! Yeah! We like our Ghostacles! Sing about Ghostacles!
Oh, we open singing and we're going to close singing. That's awesome.
That's right. That's generally how I spend.
We should try to sing the closing comment together when it's time. Let's see, like how we harmonize.
Okay. Well, before that, though.
we got, do the bit.
You do the bit.
You do the bit. What did we do? Oh, we did the last time. Well, okay. Well, thank you guys for listening.
There you go.
And be sure to, give us a review if you like it. We like reviews.
And high ratings.
We love high ratings. We also love suggestions. Please continue submitting your stories. We love them.
Yeah, if you have haunted college stories, send those to us.
Yeah, it's really fun.
There's
bound to be a lot of haunted colleges out there.
I
know. And all that, if go to ghoulintentions.com for you can listen to all of this stuff. You can go to submit your own stories there. It's really easy now. You can also buy merch. So if you buy the really awesome shirts, please take pictures of them and tag us because we really, really love to see you in those pictures. And that's it, right? Is that all?
I think that. Submit your stories on the ghoulintentions.com.
Yes. I said that.
Oh.
You can do that. You can do everything in the website. Just go to the web. All the answers to life's questions and the afterlife's questions are at ghoulintentions.com.
But review us on like iTunes and Google Play and stuff like that.
Please.
Because
that helps. That really makes us really heightens our profile.
Yeah.
So, all right.
All right.
Thanks for joining us for this episode of Ghostacles.
Yep. You guys are amazing. And you get to say it this time.
What do I get to say?
Remember.
Oh, I get to say it? Okay.
Yeah.
Are we going to sing it?
Yeah, but say remember. You got to say remember and then...
okay. All right. I wasn't ready. And remember, it's okay to sleep with the lights on.
The Naga fireballs on folklore. Sorry, I lost my place. Naga fireballs. Oh, no, wait. I said that wrong. Okay. Back up.